Danny Flexen for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined with unbeaten Idris Virgo. Idris, how you doing?
The one and only.
The
The
one
one
and
and
only.
only.
A lot more famous or infamous, one of the two, it seems, since last time we spoke. What are you? Have you been, before we talk about the incident itself? Have you been at all surprised by the amount of attention what happened last week has got?
Um, not really. I'm a superstar in the making, so um, wherever there's any attention, it will follow me. So I don't think I'm quite surprised, but I'm grateful. You could say that way. I'm very grateful.
Is it kind of like that in that we're going to look at it in a minute? But for people that didn't see last week, we have to take some of the responsibility for this at Seconds Out, because having head-to-heads
Yeah,
generally for the Hennessy Fight Weeks was our idea. And after what happened the first show, where there was a kind of mini water fight, a warm-up, if you like,
that's
for what happened the
it.
week after, we still wanted you in a head-to-head the week after. So we have to take our
Yeah,
share of responsibility for what occurred, and we'll put our hands up to that. But basically, you had a head-to-head with your opponent, Scott Williams. You sprinkled some water over him the first time. Then it was more of a dousing the second time, and ruffled
yeah,
his hair, I think, at one point as well. That might have been before the water, though. And you were separated by security. I say separated. He didn't actually get up, but you were escorted away by security. Since
yeah.
then, video went mad. We've had loads of views from it, so I'm not sure how sorry I am about it, to be fair, but did really
Don't
well.
apologize.
Yeah, did really well on Twitter and on YouTube. IFL, as we mentioned earlier, they did an interview with you yesterday, which was prompted by what happened as well. Although they didn't mention
Yeah,
us by name, I don't think. I only flicked through it, but that's fine. I would have done exactly the same in their position. I just wish I'd have been a bit quicker off the mark. Um, and you've had people calling you out for sparring, for an actual fight as well on Twitter and various social media. The amount
yeah.
of profile raising that came out of this is invaluable. It has to be said, even though it's more people wanting to see you lose than see you win, it's still a
Mm.
huge difference in your profile from a week ago. So when you're faced with those facts, does the end justify the means?
It does, but the thing is, my actions, I could prove I back my actions up. You know what I mean? Like for one, I'm a handsome fella. I prove it by obviously going to Love Island, and obviously I don't too shy away from a date. But whatever I do, I back it up. You know what I mean? So all my actions, I could back it up. Yeah, I'm telling these people, yeah, I want to spar them, and yeah, I would love to accept these fights because I know I could back it up, and I think half of these guys, they're just trying to jump on a bandwagon. You know what I mean? They're just trying to jump on some bandwagon, trying to get their name out there. Because let's be honest, they're nobody. Like, I'm somebody, they're nobody, and they're just trying to jump on the bandwagon. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if they actually got the balls to jump in the ring with me and have a couple of rounds. Let's see what
One of
happens.
the significant things that people seem to take issue with, and I'm not sure how I feel about this really, is that you did it against a journeyman instead of against someone who was more equally matched to you. Now, in a way, I find that quite patronising that people are complaining as if a journeyman's not worthy of having a, pull apart or provocation or whatever. But I guess what people on social media, other fighters mainly, are trying to say is you wouldn't do that with someone who was of equal stature to you.
You're crazy. I'll do it to anyone. I'll do it to anyone. I've got like no sympathy for any of my opponents. As I said before, you step in that ring against me, you're gone. Like, regardless, I got no sympathy. If I had the geezer who's a better profile or better record than whoever I fought number seven, I'll exactly do the same thing. I don't fear no man, and they need to understand that. Like, if they want to get water thrown in their face, that's another face off. I'll throw a book in their face or anything.
Well, if we're partnered with Hennessy again for the shows in November and December, I'm sure you'll be on them. So we'll have to decide then if we want to take the risk or not. Um,
I know, yeah.
But before we look at the video, we won't look at the whole thing because it's like even the cut down version's too long. But we'll flick through bits of it. But before we do that, did you go into the head to head the first time, so a couple of weeks ago, and this weekend or just before this weekend, with a plan to do what you did, or was it kind of off the cuff, improvised?
I don't plan anything. It's just how I am. It's just how I am. Basically, I was just quite annoyed. Like my mindset has changed. Back in the day, I probably would have never done it. But as my mindset have changed, like I don't care. Oh crap!
It's probably someone
I'm back.
calling you for another interview.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So my mindset has changed. Mindset has changed. So I don't care who's in front of me. Like, my actions is just like, however I feel in a moment, I'll go by. You know what I mean? And at that moment, I thought, you know what? Shut up and just threw some water in his face, like calm him down a bit. But just one of them ones.
All right, let's play.
No, a little bit boogie. Tapping your head like your kids, like.
I'd stay safe to you and say good luck, mate.
Let's pause it there. What was with the stand up and head ruffle? The female security guard behind you doesn't look particularly impressed.
Oh my days. Do what? At that moment, I actually thought he was actually going to stand up and do something, to be honest with you. But when he didn't do anything, I thought, okay, then, like, if that was me, I would have jumped up or headbutt someone or.
But did you not worry that the fight might get pulled if he had reacted?
See, nah, I do. I didn't think about the income. I did not think like that way at all. I just thought, let's see how far I could take him. Let's see his buttons be pushed. If you know what I mean.
Well, let's see how you went on to further push the buttons.
I was waiting all day.
I know, yeah, you could have really made it work.
Did
you feel disrespected?
Why, mate? Did you fucking...
So there, you've splashed him with the water. He's done well to restrain himself. Fair play to him. My colleague Joe Lee looks a little concerned as he's in the middle of it. And then you started getting some grief from members of Scott Williams' team, including Curtis Gargano. At this point, are you kind of thinking this couldn't go any better? Really, look at the attention I'm getting, or are you just not thinking? Are you still acting on instinct?
I'm not. I'm just acting on instinct. I'm literally getting pissed off with the coach. I'm like saying, do you know what? I'm going to knock your freaking fella out. I'm going to take you out next. You know what I mean? I was just pissed. I was like, mate, are you actually trying to throw water at me? Like, let's have it off. I'm a boxer. I'm a fighter.
Can you understand why to some people that may seem a little hypocritical, seeing as you just thrown a lot more water at the other guy, and then you're going, why are you throwing water at me? Probably because you did it first. So you can laugh about it now because you're watching it in hindsight. You must be able to see the kind of the funny side, not the funny side, because I'm not sure he'll be able to see the funny side. But are there things you would have done differently? Any regrets?
I got no regrets, and I ain't apologizing to no one. Now I got no regrets. It's a sport, boxing. You know what I mean? It is what it is. It's an entertaining sport. That situation what happened there was quite entertaining. To me, it was quite entertaining, to be honest with you. But it is what it is. We put the gloves on and we fought for 4 rounds. And I would say fair play to number 7 that he lasted 4 rounds with me with the body breaker. But as I said over my interviews, dropping down to middleweight, and I don't see anyone lasting rounds with me again.
And before we look at the last bit of the video, at the end of the fight itself on Saturday night, you obviously won a comprehensive decision over Scott Williams. You kind of tapped him on the glove at the end, put your arm around him for a second, and there were words exchanged briefly. Did you say anything about this incident, or was it just about the fight?
Just about the fight, because I was surprised how tough the fella was, to be honest with you. I didn't expect it to be that tough and last that long in the fight. But he needs to give me a pat on the back as well, because without me throwing the water at him, he mentally was prepared for the punishment on the night. So instead of thinking, I'm done, I'll go home, he thought, you know what, you insulted me in the press head-to-head, I'm going to survive and not get knocked out. So in a way, he should say, do you know what, he just thanks for that. You know what I mean? But
I wouldn't hold your breath waiting for that pat on the back, to be honest. But you never know. Strange things have happened.
Yeah. Look after if you're that good.
And this is the end of the...
What, right hand?
My guy's right hand, bro.
Seems to be finding funny side a bit more now. Arguing with Curtis.
See what's happening in there, innit?
We'll end it there. Obviously, level-headed. It's an interesting battle, and I'm excited to see it happen. Live from SecondsOut YouTube channel from 7 PM, and so is the rest of the card. And like I said, Channel 5.
Just now, yeah.
From 10 PM for the main event and onwards.
I think because the table's wet. It was just wet. I had no more water. I think where's my best friend? Yeah, you take some more water, mate. Calm down.
And then you're escorted off. Would you have escalated it if they hadn't escorted you out?
I don't know. It's hard to speak at the moment. In the moment, I was actually heated. I'll be honest with you, I was actually heated, and I was running on emotions. I would say I was running on emotions. So I can't really answer what would have happened. To be honest with you, I can't really answer that. But looking back at the incident, I quite find it quite amusing. But yeah. That's just me.
Fair enough. At least we
Look at his face. It looks serious. He's thinking, I'm going to get you. Yeah, you call yourself the body breaker. I'm coming for you. Look at his face.
Right.
Oh.
Stop the share, so we go back to full screen. So, since we've talked about this already, but you've had people calling you out both for sparring and fighting, I guess the one that's been talked about the most is John Doherty, because he's down at middleweight. He's another unbeaten prospect.
Clown. Yeah, he's a clown.
Is that one you're interested in?
He's obsessed with me. He's a clown. I do want to fight him because I know I'll smash him, and at the same time, like, he knows when he does lose against me, his boxing career is over. There's no art of last. I could come back. No, you're not going to come back. I don't understand why they call him John Doc anyway. Like, I don't think he's got any power. He leaves his chin wide open. His body will get destroyed by me. I'll just freaking destroy him. I actually think the guy's a clown. But the only problem is, I did say I'm dropping down to middleweight. So that's the only problem, because I do want to drop down to middleweight. I've done what I need to do at super middle. Not done what I need to do, but I just want to drop down to middleweight and demolish that division. And Liam Williams?
Yeah, he's British champion at middleweight, closing in on a world title.
Yeah. I'd love to fight him in a world title shot now, to be honest with you. Calling me out for sparring, thinks he could put hands on me. He needs to wake up and smell the sunshine. Like, I'm called the bodybuilder for a reason. Like, I'll score him. And when I do score him, he's going to wake up and apologize and say, no, you know what? This fella, he's decent. He's a good boxer. If he does come to my gym and spar me, hats off to him, but I don't see him coming down to my gym to spar.
Would you not go up to his gym?
He needs to come to me. I'm the guy. I'm the guy everyone's talking about. He needs to come to me. I ain't going to come to him. Ain't worth the journey.
So,
I mean,
if it's not going to be him next, and you are going to be most likely on the next Hennessy show on November the 14th, who do you think is a viable step up for you if it's going to be at middleweight in November?
It just depends who my team decides to put me in with. I'm just a fighter, so wherever they put in front of me, I take down. As I said, I'll just take them down. It all depends on who they think or who they want me to fight. I'm prepared to fight anyone. I'm ready. I'm prepared to fight anyone. Middleweight is a new weight category for me, but I do believe I will demolish that division. I don't think there's a middleweight out there who could handle my pressure, handle my power, handle my speed. Don't get me wrong, there's still things I need to work on, but in time, you'll see the best version of Idris Virgo, the body breaker. And that's it, really.
Well, as it happens, there's an English middleweight title fight. Actually, no, I don't know if it is for the English title. I think it's for the IBF European or whatever it might be. It's around English, British level title fight taking place this Saturday on a Frank Warren show between Denzel Bentley and Mark Heffron. What do you make of those two guys? And is that a potential next fight for you, the winner of that?
To be honest with you, I've never heard of him, for one. So I'll have to mention them. I will give them a look over. I'll fight anyone. Whoever wins that fight, I'll take them on. But I don't think I'll fight them yet. But I would love to take them on, and I would love to fight them on the Hennessy show. To be honest with you, on Channel 5. To be honest, but we see where my future holds, or see where I'll go. To be honest.
Good stuff. Well, I appreciate your time. I can't say I agree with everything you did, but then when you look at the results, it's hard to argue. I mean, you're
come on, you got to agree. Come on, you got to agree. You know what I mean?
You're probably the most talked about fighter in Britain at the moment. So if that was your aim, then job done. That's what I can say.
Okay, fair enough. I should have been the most talked about fighter from day dot, but hey, things work in mysterious ways, I should say.
Well, yeah, partnered up with H2O, and now it's all systems go. So fair play.
There we go.
Right,
giving him his own. Yeah.
If we end up partnering up with Hennessy Sports again for the shows in November, December, I certainly hope we do. It'll be great to see you back out in action.
Oh, sound sweet. Thanks for that.
Thanks, Idris, and take care.
See you later.
Speak to you soon.
Sweet.
Bye bye.
All right.